Well, good morning to you, friends, and happy Red Friday. It's a live look over the city of Fountains, the home of the Kansas City Chiefs, who are not in town because they're going to go hang out with the Atlanta Chickens. That's what I'm calling them. The Atlanta Falcons, they're out there. I'm sure we've got some Georgia fans out there. Well, listen, it's going to be a pretty decent forecast for us today. You can hold off on the umbrellas, but there is a catch. It's going to feel like summer. We're easily going to be about 10 to 15 degrees above average today, and we're going to be on the ladder of that, closer to 15 degrees above the norm. So heads up, heat and humidity, but we're not out of the woods of storm activity. We could even see some severe weather late tonight. Good morning to you. First Warn 5 meteorologist Greg Bennett here, and we've been tracking this all morning long. Brand new update that came down the line late last night with First Warn 5 chief meteorologist Luke Doris. He let you know that there is a marginal risk, or a level 1 out of 5 severe weather risk, to get to some stronger storm cells out there, maybe some higher winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, perhaps a little bit of hail, maybe the size of a quarter, slightly larger than that. I'm not surprised that does ensue for us, but that's one of the big things that we are going to be tracking. Now, again, I need to reiterate the fact that this is not impacting your day side. You do not need the umbrellas out there for this morning and then moving on into the afternoon. It's the late night that we're dealing with this, all right? And it's going to come in as late as maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, continues on in towards our Saturday morning, and then we go into this on and off affair of wet weather. Now, this is why I'm thinking this is not necessarily a washout, especially when it comes down to Saturday. It is legitimately on and off with wet weather. There are going to be moments where we have cloud cover, but no rain for a couple of hours at a time. And then you might get into a quick shower for 5 or 10 minutes, then back to the cloud cover for an hour and a half, then a maybe 20-minute downpour, then, so on and so forth. So it's not a complete washout. If you want to head over to the art fair, if you're thinking about heading downtown, or maybe catching some type of sporting event that's going to be up and about, obviously heading over to Ren Fest, for example. These things are possible. Just understand, though, it's not a guarantee that you're not going to see wet weather, all right? So be prepared for that. Sunday, on the other hand, Sunday is where we're seeing widespread kind of steady rain that's going to last 45 minutes to 2 hours at a time, then maybe a break for 15 or 20 minutes, then back to the rainfall again. So be prepared for that day. That's going to be the big rain event for us overall. And we're also dealing with potential localized flooding concerns, okay? Meaning some ponding, minor flooding issues, not in big areas, but in local regions, maybe your neighborhood, maybe in just specifically lower lying areas. Those locations are the ones that we're looking out for. Okay, now with that being said, let's move forward in talking about that severe weather threat. I want to talk about this, a level 1 risk, and it's not everybody who's going to see this across the viewing area. It's just a chosen few, but we here in the metro are some of those chosen few counties, all right? And it's going to go all the way over towards Clay County. We've got that around the Jackson County kind of side, and then it moves out towards Lawrence, Atchison, and into central Kansas overall. In this technical threat for severe weather, it's going to be 1 or 2 storms that we're monitoring at a time here that could produce severe weather characteristics. We need a minimum characteristic of 60-mile-an-hour gusts, at least registered on radar. And we also need to see on radar hail the size of about a quarter in diameter or larger. All right, those are the key characteristics to producing a severe thunderstorm warning. All right, and that could do some damage, but not even making it to that kind of threat. We actually saw wind gusts up to 40 or 50 miles per hour within Leavenworth yesterday with those storms, and it brought down power lines. So take that into consideration. We could still be under the criteria for severe weather, but still get some damage out there. It's something that we're going to monitor closely. Now, I had to put Friday. I had to say Friday severe weather risk because technically it is introduced Friday late night and it continues into our Saturday or early morning. Let me show you what this looks like. So we're going to move through the day. First and foremost, look at this. 4 or 5 o'clock. Let me back this up. 7 a.m., 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. You see any rain? It's not happening. We're looking good there. Maybe a few passing clouds here, but at the surface, there is heat building and humidity building. So be prepared for that, right? But let's get into the overnight. Here we go. Oh, there it is. There it is, 11 p.m. Couple of thunderstorms popping up. Now, take this with a grain of salt, because we are too as meteorologists. We could see this start up a little bit earlier. Maybe it does start up at around 10 or 11 p.m. like this, but it may not be one or two thunderstorms. It could be several thunderstorms around the western and southwestern sides in our viewing area. So, it's just giving you a reasonable idea of what to anticipate. But there's 11 p.m. at night, so we officially have to start bringing in that severe weather risk. And then by 2 a.m., bit of a different story. All right. So now we're bringing in those stronger storm cells, right? It kind of plumes out there for us within that early morning time frame. So yes, we've got that severe weather risk. We're going to monitor it for you. Do I think we're going to get into a tornado opportunity? No, I don't think so. I think this is going to be, if it does happen, a wind and potential hail event. But I'm much more overall concerned about getting into some damaging wind out of these storms. Okay. Then we go through the day on Saturday. And just notice, it's on and off and on and off. This is just the morning. 8 a.m. Good opportunity for just steady rain coming through the morning time frame. But check this out. Get to about lunchtime. Starts to fade into just isolated showers. Mid-afternoon, more cloud cover. And then finally by 3 p.m. So there's like a 2-hour window right there where we may not even see wet weather. And then we start to build it back in by about late afternoon here, just this on and off kind of wet weather threat. Then by overnight Saturday, it really starts to build on up for us. And that's the start of that widespread rain and thunderstorm opportunity. All right, so be prepared for that. So daytime highs today. Let me shoot this up for you. I've got 90 at 3 p.m., 91 by 3:30, by 4 o'clock, 92, and that should be our high temperature. The feel like today, 94 to 97, and we're not the only ones dealing with some big heat out there. We've got a couple of people that'll be dealing with even hotter conditions. Let me show you that just to the south of us. Olathe is at 92, but Paola, 94. We've got Warrensburg now at 94. Obviously, Butler, Lacine, Ottawa, 94 degrees. So it's some hot stuff just around the area, and they too will be dealing with some humidity. Our average high being 78. So we're close to that 15 degrees above average. Let's move forward here to the rainfall totals. And I'm going to show you first just Saturday. Starting off at midnight Saturday morning, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 a.m. Let's get into the afternoon. Let's stop it at about there. Let's stop there. This is just a forecast model run, but this is the latest update that we've got, and this one is introducing about a half an inch of rainfall throughout the day on average for the metro, okay? That's a decent amount of rain, especially if we're talking on and off through the day here, maybe a 1/10 of an inch during the morning, 1/10 of an inch in the early afternoon, 1/10 of an inch in the evening, so on and so forth. So that's definitely a day that we need the umbrellas, but get this, we'll go from a half inch to nearly 2 inches of rain. The bulk of our rainfall happens Sunday, friends. That's a lot of water, okay, in a short amount of time. But over those 2 days, we're averaging 1.73 inches. Now, we're moving in the right direction with the rainfall predictions. I got to tell you that, because literally 24 hours ago, we were talking almost 3 inches of rainfall for the Kansas City area. Right? So we're starting to hone in and really get a more conservative view of what these storms and what these systems are going to produce for us. So we're moving in the right direction, but that's still a lot of water, and that can still produce localized flooding. But look at even Cameron coming in there at about 3.72 inches of rain. So we're talking about 3 3/4 inches. It's a lot of water. And that can wreak some serious havoc in neighborhoods and local roadways, not maybe necessarily the interstates, though we could get some ponding there too. So it is something that we need to be aware of, and we're going to continue to monitor. Obviously, this whole situation. I always say that. We're tracking, we're monitoring. Of course we are. We're meteorologists, but we're going to have your back. That's what I'm just trying to get around here for you, friends. All right, quickly though, the good news, right? First and foremost, the wet weather's needed. We need that wet weather. I mean, that's a given. I just wish it wasn't coming in with such gusto, right? It would have been nice to get a half an inch on Saturday, maybe another half inch or 3/4 of an inch on Sunday, and then maybe another 1/4 of an inch on Monday. That is good rain. That's the well-warranted rain that we need. not this, constant rainfall coming in and maybe not having enough of an opportunity to soak it into the soil, which may lead to some flooding issues. But the flip side to this is the temperature. We have those low 90s today, right? But we drop almost 10 degrees on Saturday and then over 10 degrees on Sunday from Saturday. We're going to drop literally 20 degrees just about in the next 48 hours. I mean, wild stuff that we've got there, 20 degrees. And by Monday, I mean, that's like sweater weather for some of us. 67 degrees being the high temperature, not that morning low. So yeah, definitely some cooler weather on the way. And then let me get my face out of the way for you. Let me show you the actual full 7-day forecast, because the drier conditions remain and we keep on keeping on with pleasant, steady fall-like temperatures right on into the work week. By the way, Sunday, first day of the fall season, and at least by temperatures, we are absolutely feeling like fall. All right, friends, that is your forecast. That's what I wanted to give you the update on here. If we do see changes to the severe weather potential and obviously the copious amounts of rainfall for our weekend, we will let you know about it. But I want to have a live look over the city of Fountains here. We're looking good. I'm sure we can take another W from the ATL. Ridiculous over there, my goodness. Yeah, I'm feeling like some Atlanta Falcon wings. That sounds pretty good. Some drumsticks. I'm pretty sure the Kansas City Chiefs are going to fry them up. That's what's going to happen for us, friends. Hey, have a great weekend, and we'll keep you up to date on any wet weather changes.